Sup guys, and welcome to the official and unofficial patch notes for update 1.69.2.54 on the 14th of June 2017. So firstly, there's been a change to aerobatic smoke on low-level graphics settings, so I'm assuming they're going to look slightly better. And secondly, we have client stability has been improved. Now, at this point, none of you guys who follow me should believe that client stability has been improved means fucking anything. It just means they've done some changes, they don't want you to know, so let's go into it. So Mike Tendy did his digging, he's fucking on point as usual. Let's have a start. Most of the stuff I'm going to list here has been said in previous videos, but they've now decided to implement it. So to find out what's been implemented, follow the video. If you've been following my previous videos, you probably have an idea, but you might as well have a look anyway. Just put this in the background while you're doing your YouTube. So firstly, we've got the change to the 120mm M58 cannon mounted on the M103, specifically regarding its AP penetration. Its AP penetration has been increased across the board between 25 and 30mm depending on the range. So now, because of how the 120mm AP rounds behave when they impact something, they have like a shit ton of shrapnel. I think this is going to make the M103 even better. So if you haven't got it right now, I think now's the time to start grinding it out. Because one of the biggest complaints people had with it was the AP pen and its, damage. But now that seems to have been fixed. So I think the M103 is going to see a bit more play. Secondly, we're moving on to the 90mm M3A1, used on the M46 pattern and the STA tanks. Now, I looked into this. This is actually kind of wrong. If I'm correct, the M3A1 was used on the pattern, but the Japanese couldn't actually get the license for it. So they made their own sort of thing, but then they used the same designation. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, but I just thought I'd let you guys know. So they changed the heat shell to the heat FS. The heat FS is got an increase of pen from 210mm to 305. Now, this is a historical change. It's not a buff or anything. It turns out that the shell they'd listed wasn't a heat shell. It was a heat FS shell. And now they've decided they finally read one of those fucking bug reports and fixed it. So now you've got a better shell for your M46 and your STA tanks. So if you're into those tanks, this may help you with your competitive edge. Next, the new guns I listed in the previous update are being added. The 66mm German smoke launchers are being added. So we can expect the Tiger tank and the Panthers to be getting smoke grenades in the future. The Canon Hispano HS9 has been added, but it isn't used in anything. I looked into it, it's a French Hispano. So they're probably working on the French air tree, and this is the early tricklings in. And the Gudin 33, I still haven't got a clue what it is. I looked into it, and it looks sort of like a mine depth charge sort of thing. So I'm assuming it's for one of the upcoming naval units. Next, we have a change to the 125mm anti-tank guided missile. It now has mass of 23 kilograms per rocket. Now, I don't know why this change has been implemented. Mike doesn't seem to know why it's been implemented. I guess it means after you fired a shit ton of your ATGMs, you're going to be slightly faster. Next, we have the M47. The M47, if you listen to my previous video, they said it was going to have a change from 9.1 seconds to 7.5 seconds on its reload. Unfortunately, they realised this may make it a bit overpowered. So they were like, fuck it. Just don't do it. All reload is currently in-game, so they haven't changed it. They didn't like the look of that. So unlucky for you M47 drivers, but you didn't get your buff. Next, we have changes to the armour. The cannon breech changes. The cannon breech armour thickness has been changed from 10mm to 60mm on the following tanks. The E100, the Mouse, and the Churchill Mark 1. This is going to be quite good, especially for the Churchill Mark 1, because, let's be completely honest with you, the Churchill Mark 1 has a weak spot on it, and it's the turret. Because it's all, like, concave, it's not, like, flat, so you can't angle it. And that means that when a shell goes in, it just kills everyone in the turret, leaving you with 2 guys. With this now, there's a chance that shrapnel from that shell will not kill your guys, it'll just kill, like, 2 of them. So you'll still have, your loader. So this is a good little change, I believe. Moving on to visibility, for the second Battle of Al Alamein map, bushes now have forced loading to make ultra-low quality less effective. This means if you're an unlucky chump with an actual potato PC, you might have lower frame rates now on the second Battle of Al Alamein. But for you guys who are fed up of being killed across map when you're hiding in the bushes by some fuckboy with his 1080 GDX fucking Nvidia, orgasm card, now he's got to see these bushes, so even though he's got low quality, he's got less of an advantage over you. So, mixed bag change there, but looking good. Next, we're moving on to tank visibility in mixed ground. Tank visibility distance has changed when flying an aircraft. Now, if you're flying an aircraft, you can see a tank from 6,000 metres instead of the previous 3,000 metres. And there's been a 20% increase in the spotting range in both gun sights and binoculars. So, Overall, visibility in tanks is being made more realistic, basically. Flight model changes. Firstly, we got a change to the G55. Takeoff mass has been increased from 3,900 kilograms to 4,410 kilograms. So your G55S is now getting heavier, making it less maneuverable, poorer acceleration. It's a small nerf to your G55S. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, when I see people flying the G55S and they're going ground pounding, I want to cut my own wrists. Like, because shit you not, the G55S is ridiculously under-tiered. Like, in my G55 standard, it's basically the same thing with 250 cals, a slightly worse turn time. I got like a 3-to-1 KD in it. But, like, the more I got gun belts, I didn't fucking die. So if I have the G55S, I just imagine that I would be fucking raping. Like, literally, I would be, you know, getting like 2-3 kills a game. But then I look over and I see some scrub lord, like, kill 3 AA units and get killed by a P-47 that's ground pounding. It's like, well, fuck. So we'll see how that changes, but you're in a boom and zoom plane, so I'm not particularly sure. Moving on to the actual main changes to planes, though, we have the B-29 changes I've listed in my last video. Cockpit view has been reduced by 30% left and right. So, basically, you've got a smaller field of view. But, to be completely honest, this isn't going to affect anyone other than sim pilots. And last I checked, there's not many people who actually play sim anymore. But I believe it's a realistic change. Secondly, the lower front turret may elevate 5 degrees instead of 0, and the lower rear turret may elevate 5 degrees instead of -10. The deflection angles have therefore been corrected. So basically, now when you approach a B-29, previously, if you flew slightly below it, there was a blind spot where only one pair of 50 cals were firing at you. This is no longer the case. There is now going to be 6 50 cals firing at you. So you're going to have to resort to wild sow tactics against these things. Hitting from the side, basically. Which, it's a realistic change, but let's be honest. It's only going to affect people who tailgate. And at that point, you kind of deserve to be killed. So that's the change to the B-29. With the BA-65 K-14L, the turret yaw has been changed from -90 to +90 to -80 to +80. And the deflection angles have been corrected. This basically just means that you've got a slightly smaller field of view, but we're talking about fucking, you know, a reserve attacker here. It's not really going to be much of a difference. People are still going to tailgate you, so that's how it is. The Z1007 has had its new Scotty 12.7mm guns implemented with the removal of its Safat 12.7. As I listed in my previous video, this gun has a higher muzzle velocity and a higher rate of fire. So basically, your Z1007 has had its top and bottom turret buffed, which is all around a good change, because I'm not really a fan of the Breda 50s. You know, they got their chemical damage, but that muzzle velocity, man. New game modes have been added. An upcoming event called Operation Neptune, which is on the game mode Battle of Normandy. Operation Neptune is a full play. The Allies are advancing into the depths of Normandy, but German forces are mounting a counterattack. In battle mode, each of the teams starts with 1 strategic point captured. If the other team manages to recapture the other team's point, they win instantly. Just to be honest with you, this isn't always the case. I have played games of battle where I have managed to recapture the captured base and stop the ticket bleed. Yeah, we got a hammering, but it can be done. So, just a little note there. Like, just because you capture the base in battle, it doesn't mean it's over. You still got about 20 seconds to recap it. Usually that means nothing, but you can recap it. And ground force objectives: capture the enemy point, prevent the capture of the allied point. So we're going to see an upcoming Operation Neptune Normandy event. World War II mode. World War II mode is now open to accounts who have access to the World War closed beta test. I do not know if any accounts have this access yet, though. So World War II mode is gearing up for the beta test. Personally, I'm not in a clan that's big enough, you know, squadrons, so I'm not taking part. Going to follow it intently, though. I'm just kind of worried it's going to turn into a scumbaggy clan war sort of thing. Hopefully it doesn't and it becomes fun, but you know how clan wars can get, man. It's one of those things. Capture the flag. The in-game description has been changed. Basically they've added capture the flag to normal rotation as a possibility, which is basically where you have a flag, you drive into a cap zone, but you have to have the flag bearer. It's really team dependent, so I don't know how it would work in random, but good to see another game mode. And next we have Battle Royale, which is basically team deathmatch, well, free-for-all deathmatch, where the map slowly shrinks in size as time progresses, and it's for 32 or 64 players. So if you're playing in custom games, you can now play, free-for-all deathmatch. And here's a little map showing, Alamein with the spawn points. And that's it. So basically, a load of the changes which have been previously listed in my unofficial dev test notes have been implemented. We've had a general buff to the M103, the M46 and the STA. New guns have been added. The change to the M47 was not implemented. The breach changes to the Churchill, the Panzerkampf Maus, and the E100 happened, and there's been some changes to visibility in the flight models of B29, the Z1007, and the BA65. So if you like what you see here, like, comment, do all that down below. I try to keep up to date with this stuff. Usually I get events early, so if you're into your competitive scene or War Thunder, you want to know when premiums are coming, subscribe if you're into that. Just imagine this is a notification service. Keep on gaming, and have a good one.